Okay then, Joe. So if we look here at your, mainly the chipping today, obviously we'll talk about your long game in the video, but mainly you look at your short game. Setup wise, you can see the difference now. There's a bit more on your left side at setup, okay? So more weight now is in through that left foot, okay? That's going to help you strike the golf ball with a little bit more of a downward angle and get that club to the bottom of the golf ball, gets the ball up in the air. What you were doing before, okay, as you saw in that golf club, in fear of going too far, not a bad wrist hinge there, but as you came back to the golf ball now, hands and arms started stopping. There's basically your impact here. Your hands will be in the middle of your body, a bit scoopy, flicky, and just stopping. So just went a bit, and just stop, almost just fear of it going too far. Problem was, you either hit the ground behind the golf ball, okay, which then sends the ball, as you saw, along the ground, not very far. Or if you try to miss the ground with the neck, you just whiz it across the green, catch it in the middle of the ball, and it's like, goodbye. And then you're thinking, well, hang on, I make one swing that should go, say, 20 yards, either goes 40 yards or 3, and you're like, well, which one do I go with, yeah? So keeping that weight a bit more forward at setup. Same good wrist hinge coming back. Keep your arms swinging through. If you want a shorter swing, you just swing there, but your arms are still working past your legs there, rather than kind of stopping here and just the momentum flicking that golf club, okay? Then as we step to the golf ball there now, again, nice and loose in that grip pressure. Weight on the left side, keeping that weight there now. As we go through, at least your arms now finishing past your body. Now, there's a little bit of a recoil in this one, as we can see back there, because your hand has a little bit of kind of this sort of cupping in that left wrist this way, which if you start moving a bit more this or with that arm, I think if you could practice that, we said about that sort of bit of downing or a stick. I think where the club is there now, you basically side yourself in half, yeah? So you want to be finishing a little bit more this way with these chip shots, so the stick would be pointing out effectively if you're at this position with your hands there. If I clear all them, we expect the shaft to be a bit more down here, so if there's an extended bit of stick, it'd be out there up to your left shoulder, yeah? Not kind of back that way. But you can practice that with the club upside down, when we hold the club kind of this way, yeah? Off your body, just stay there. That'll give you the feeling of how your hands and arms, this again just for short shots only, how the hands and arms work kind of for a chip shot. If we start flicking at this or with the wrist, you get a rather sore left side and stuff. It's not going to be much good, okay? So working on that kind of impact position, but I say to take two things away from today, looser there. I mean, I think when you grip that club looser, the first 4 or 5 shots, you go, oh, hang on, I can control my arms. Imagine, you say you're holding your phone. How loose will you hold your phone so your thumb can move so you can text, okay? If you're squeezing, there's no movement at all there, okay? So nice and loose, nice and soft in that grip pressure, and wait for all shots on that left side, okay? Whether you're using a big shot and you're moving to the left for power, getting your arms up nice and high, as you did with the last few shots, or we're just staying there for a small chip shot. We want that weight to be pressure going down to that left foot. Any leaning back or trying to scoop under it, no real benefit to anybody really, okay? So better movement there. Get away from that kind of fearful, scared, flicky kind of swing here. Get the arms and body moving through a bit more freely there. Much more consistent strike of the golf ball going up on the green. And if you start controlling the yardage, chipping becomes a lot easier, yeah? If you say, okay, I'm swinging the golf club, as we said, using the clock face, if I'm swinging from sort of 7 to 5 o'clock, it goes 20 yards with a pitching wedge. Every time you swing between those two blue lines, you can get the same kind of yardage, yeah? Whereas at the moment, no, before today, you'd swing those two lines there, and you might go 3 yards or 50 yards. Yeah. And it's like, well, hang on, this is much good. I can't think bloody green, okay? So get that control. If you want to go further, go back longer. If you want to go further again, use more club. If you want to go shorter, shorten the swing, or take less club. So your sand iron was designed to go a lot higher. You kind of dialed yourself in on that shot we had over the bunker with a pitching wedge. You get like 25, 30 yards regularly. Then we gave you the sand iron. You did the same, so you went 17 yards. Or like, oh, okay, need more power. And you're getting more height. So depending on what shot you need to play, is there something in the way? Yes or no? Do you need height? Yes or no? Can you run the ball on the ground? Yes or no? Depending on what you've got to do, you choose the club for that shot, yeah? So it's one technique, really, with small setup, narrow stance, weight through the left side, just swinging the arms there, keeping that wrist in that angle, whether you play a pitching wedge, sand iron, 7 iron, 8 iron, 9 iron, any club in the bag, really, okay? It will give you a slightly different sort of result. One will be a lot lower and run more, one's a lot higher and stops a lot quicker, yeah? But But you'll sort of figure these different clubs out what you're going to do. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions at all, or does that make sense? Yeah?
No, I just
Excellent.
remember it all. And
Well, I'll send the video through again. But yeah, I think, again, say 2 things to take away. Number 1, loose grip pressure.
Yeah.
Number 2, keep that way on the left side. If you can do that, your arms can then just sort of freely swing a bit more this way. And once you start striking it better when you were looser, yeah, there wasn't that fear of going too far. Because if the connection is correct, the ball goes up in the air as it should do and doesn't run so far. So then the fear of going over the green is not going to be as much. So then you're not going to start shying away from this shot and ending up with that kind of scoopy flick position as you had before. You'll be more kind of through the ball there with the better swing, yeah?
okay.
Okie dokie. Excellent. Good stuff, Joe.